From the F3 Nation podcast studios.
I've just been handed an urgent and horrifying news story. And I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen.
This is the COT podcast, connecting the packs of F3 Nation through fitness, fellowship, and faith.
Andrew Maggio, 35, Wirebiter.
Mike Kirkos, 35, Saganaki.
Huckleberry, 40, Rep Sleepy.
Peter Ranky, 63, Bambi.
COT podcast starts right now.
Shut up and sit down.
All right, welcome to the COT podcast. I think I did that correctly anyway. All right, it's June 4th this morning, and we are here with the News of the Nation. We got a couple guys in here to talk. My name's Huckleberry. I am the head of culture for F3 Nation. Today we have MapQuest and we have Bandcamp with me today, and they're going to introduce themselves, and then we'll get right into it. Go ahead, MapQuest.
So MapQuest, my hospital name's Jonathan Wiles. I'm based in the Houston area, down here in Texas, and my home AO is the Fire Pit at F3 Richmond region. So I was out with the boys in the gloom this morning, playing some ultimate frisbee and enjoying a beat down. So good to be with you guys here this morning.
Nice. Bandcamp, what you got?
Good morning, John Frauenhofer, age 59. Bandcamp, been with F3 working out for almost 5 years, coming up on 5 years. Started in 2020. What a great year to start.
I think a lot of guys started in 2020.
Exactly. So by Manicure, awesome dude and neighbor and longtime friend. And home region is F3 St. Louis, the county line. So, and the home AO is called the Streaker.
A streaker. I like it. Is that a running AO, I'm guessing?
No, it's not. It's a boot camp AO, and it's called the Streaker because we meet at Eureka Elementary. And if you're familiar with Euripides, then you can get it. I'll let people go.
Well, I'm not familiar with that. So.
It's a little high culture for us, Bandcamp.
Yes, exactly.
That might be it. All right. News around the nation. Let's go ahead and jump into that. I think we talked about this yesterday, but Art of Manliness podcast, those emails are pouring in. Just got off the mic with Flea yesterday, talking about how the Art of Manliness podcast reached some guy over in Leeds, over in the United Kingdom. And a guy drove an hour to the workout, and he can't wait to take it an hour back and start another AO out there in the middle of nowhere. Talked about this yesterday, but had a guy in Tombstone, Arizona, reach out to me 2 days ago, and he started with my motorcycle club. Throughout the conversation, it turned into he let me know it was a biker gang. So I think we'll have our first F3 biker gang coming up. I'm hoping. Fingers crossed. June 21st, Linus and his crew with the Freedom Ops is going to put on a Freedom Ops event in Seattle, June 20th through 22nd. Have you guys ever done a Freedom Ops or a Grow Ruck event previously?
Got two.
Nice. A great event. June is Men's Health Month. I messed that up yesterday saying Mental Health Month, but it's overall June's Health Month. You guys got anything going on in your regions about specifically focusing on mental health or health?
We've been doing it for, I think, a year. On the last Wednesday of every month, we do a 30 for 30. So we start the beat down a little early and do a nice solid 30-minute beat down and then spend 30 minutes picking a topic, just having some dedicated fellowship time. Talking about nice stuff. It's been really good.
I think every month is Men's Health Month around F3 Richmond, but I'm definitely going to take that back.
I love that. I will say, though, 2 years ago, buddy, former Shield Lock Gopher, challenged us to make sure we all got a dermatology screening, and I've never done that before. So went and got that done thanks to Gopher in June Health Month. And make sure you're getting those screenings. Make sure you're getting those checkups. Make sure you're getting those teeth cleanings. Just those things just roll up on you and they go away, and next thing you know, you didn't do them. And so June's a good reminder year for us all to remind each other. Check out our socials. If you're not on Twitter, I don't blame you. But we do have some good stories with F3 Nation on Twitter. One is Bullseye. Bullseye came out, told us a great story. He is through F3 Omaha. check that out. Behind the scenes, I know you guys, here's a story for you. When I came on board January, we got a new website and the Lexicon XCon. Have you guys ever used Lexicon XCon?
Yep. Absolutely.
It was terrible. Man, that thing was terrible. And it wasn't anybody's fault. It was the way the computers talk or something. And so I just got on the website. As soon as I gave me the keys to the website, I deleted it. I hated that thing. And I put a Google Sheet up there and it was terrible, but I broke it. And that's what I do. I'm usually not the smartest guy in the room, but I will break something. And so behind the scenes, for the month of May, we had a hackathon, and guys across the nation submitted. They developed their own Lexicon. We have 7 entries, and they're all in. They are rolling through SLT right now. We're kind of proofing them, seeing which ones we like, which ones we don't like, and then we'll start releasing those. And hopefully, it's a little bit more interactive. It's a little bit more user friendly. Guys can find what they need quickly, and that becomes a better tool for us. And I can't tell you how much work behind the scenes goes into those efforts. And I just want to thank Tackle, the head of Nations IT, for coordinating all those efforts. And I'm really, really excited. I haven't even looked at them yet. I've seen one of them, but I haven't seen all of them. I'm really excited to dig through those today and check those out. And so thank you guys for doing that. And then hopefully we'll have a good product out there for everybody. All right. That's all I got. You guys have any questions? What you guys are always like, what's coming through the nation? You got any questions for me? Can I answer anything? What questions you guys have out there?
So what's the latest AO number across either U.S. or the world? I'll let you. I haven't looked for a while.
You know, I do the newsletters, and so every week I have to go back and check because it's just different. And by the time I publish the newsletter, it is outdated. It goes up quickly. So right now we're at 5,423 workouts across the world in 450 regions. We're averaging 2 new AOs a day. In a new region every 8 days. And all I can tell you is my inbox averages about probably about 25 emails a day with where are you at? Can I get there? How can I find this place? And it's like a wildfire. It's just kind of going. It's just going. So 5,423 and 450 regions. Pretty impressive.
I was at a launch on Sunday.
Exactly. It really is. And within that, and I just say within that, man, we got some amazing packs out there doing some amazing things all across the nation. I'm getting a lot of emails asking if I can put local fundraisers and local things in the newsletter. And that really doesn't work too well from the nations. If the local guys figure out what they're doing and you guys kind of coordinate. Anyway, we want to highlight all those amazing things you guys are doing. And one of the things that's going on, and why these MapQuest and Bandcamp are here, is to talk about living water, a partnership. And I'm just going to let them. Who's going to take off first? Who's talking first?
Bandcamp, you were the connector here. You want to tee us off?
Yeah, I'll start with kind of how myself, and really it's all up to Safari the Beast. If you're on Facebook, you know him, because if
we all know Safari the Beast.
You will then be connected with him, and he'll be reaching out and praying for you. He's just an awesome man. And doing.
How's his foot
work.
Doing?
It seems
Didn't he hurt his foot?
Post recently, where he was working out again and running and getting trained. He's training for another marathon. I think he does them like every other weekend or something. Yeah, it's crazy. About this was 2 falls ago. I was doing over the years I've done a beatdown for the thirsty in our local AO to raise money for the work that Living Water does in the developing world to deliver clean water solutions. And so as I was posting some information about another fundraiser I was doing 2 falls ago, Felix pings me, and he posts a picture. He's like, "Hey brother, here's a picture of my community's water source," and it's exactly what you see in all the brochures. It was nasty standing water. There was women and children in there trying to get their water. It was brown, murky. There's cattle in there. There's dogs in there, and that's their water source for their community. And so he's like, if you can do anything to help me out, I'd appreciate it. So then through a series of conversations with some Living Water folks, I got connected to MapQuest. And it just so happened that he had just been EH'd into F3 down there in the Houston area. And so we started talking about what can we do. And then he reached out to his people in Kenya to connect with Fel and get that thing going. And so I'll let Jonathan kind of tell the story. He was over there earlier this year with Felix and the Living Water in-country folks they did a full engineering study to see what kind of solutions are available how we could implement them in the coming year or two. So I'll let Jonathan add to that story.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, it's amazing how this really came together. Got a note from Bandcamp saying, "Hey, you need to know Felix. He's out in Kenya. He's planted a shovel flag out there, and he started F3 Kenya." And when he's not in the gloom, Felix runs Damien's Hope Foundation, which is a local organization in Kenya, and inspired by the legacy of Saint Damien, if you know that story, who served lepers in Hawaii. And so they're really out there serving who he calls modern day lepers, and people who are marginalized in different communities. And they work all over Kenya, reaching out to people with disabilities and the poor through social programs in health and justice and environmental protection. And so they had, through all of this work, Felix had never been able to go back to his home community. And he had this real burden to go back and serve the place where he was from. And so he went back, and he had this vision for doing this programming that was address water and sanitation needs, which are just dire. There's more than 50% of the population of this area where we're now focusing a partnership that don't have safe water and sanitation. They were having some severe environmental degradation issues. It's a place where there's a lot of sand mining. Sand gets taken out of there. There's for different purposes around Kenya. And so that area is just experiencing a lot of like soil erosion, and it's really hard to grow crops. And so he had a vision for helping them address some environmental issues and like some small business coaching. So people who don't have a way to earn a living can begin to think about ways that they could have a livelihood. But the foundation of all of this was we really need to get water and sanitation into this area. And so we started talking about that. And so when I'm not in the gloom, I serve as the chief operating officer of Living Water International, which is it's an international nonprofit. We work in 17 countries around the world doing water and sanitation program in partnerships with local churches and communities. And we have a team in Kenya. And as it happens, our team works one county over from this area where Felix wanted to start serving, and where Safari, where he really wanted to do some work. And so we got our teams together. I visited and spent some time out there with them in February, and we came up with this collaboration idea where we would bring our capacity and our experience in water and sanitation in alongside the capacity of Damien's Hope, and we put together a plan. So it's kind of a 1-year plan. Our goal is to serve 1,200 households with safe water. That's about 3,500 people that'll be trained in good sanitation and hygiene. Doing some work around mental health awareness and support. So speaking of men's health and mental health, and working on there's a target group of about 250 individuals that they want to train in business development and financial literacy. So this is kind of a multi-pronged approach that's going to kind of reinforce just holistic well-being for the people in an area where it's really difficult to get a leg up. And so we've kind of set out a goal to get as many people around the nation engaged in this, advocating for this. We're trying to, through different channels, raise about $270,000 to make this possible. And the ball is rolling. So, Bandcamp and others have gotten really excited about getting the word out about this, and we're excited to get started.
I love it. Do you guys have any like currently active fundraisers going on, or any initiatives, or how's that working? How can we help? What can the guys do to help?
They can, you'll put a link in the show notes.
Oh, I think I muted you. Hang on.
And so we have a online fundraising page throughout this whole effort. And we're not trying to be prescriptive on how the individual can go out and with their local PACs and raise some awareness and raise some funds. Just come up with their own workout. I've done, when I get downrange, I've been down to Emerald Coast, did a workout with them and shared the link with them. I've done a couple other regions around the St. Louis area. So I try and, when I get somewhere else in the country for my day job, I try and get connected with other PACs and share the story. And then we're trying to stay connected every month or two and just kind of share ideas to see how we can get the word out and get people clicking the link and donating.
Yeah. And it's there's a campaign page you can go on and donate funds directly, or set up your own, sub fundraising page for your own AO or your own purposes. I mean, there are lots of ways people can get involved. I think, if you've got a local CSOP coming up and you're like, hey, let's attach that to a cause and try to use this as a way to raise some awareness. Or if you're running an individual event like a marathon or a triathlon or doing an event and you want to say, hey, I'm going to turn this into a awareness raising opportunity. Or if we've got some guys who have said, hey, I'm going to give up my birthday and ask people to make donations to this page in lieu of gifts, or, so there's just kind of a little bit of a groundswell happening of people who are starting to get involved in different ways, and you can be as creative as you can.
Yeah.
Guys had more.
I was going to say,
Go
couple of years ago on my last Grow Ruck, I used it as a fundraiser for Living Water and was able to get all kinds of people that I know both within F3 and then outside my F3 life connected to not only Grow Ruck and what I was doing and why I chose to do hard things, but also get them connected to the Story of the Thirsty and have an opportunity to join in and give. So that's another good, if you got something like that, that's a good way to create a fundraiser.
If a guy wanted to reach out and connect with someone with Living Waters, and who would be the best, and what's the best way to get in touch?
Well, you're welcome to reach out to me. My email address is jwiles, JWILES @water.cc. And I'd be happy to chat with anybody anytime about this. I'm pretty excited about getting folks connected to Safari and the work that he's doing and the work that our team is doing with him.
Fantastic. And let me make sure I have that. JWILES @water.cc.
.cc.
All right. What's the CC stand for? I've never seen it.
I don't know.
Oh, that's the second thing I'll have to Google when we get off there.
Just another extension that therefore water was available on that extension and nowhere else. And I think it was meant for charities. I believe.
Oh, yeah.
Was already taken.
Yeah, exactly.
I bet. Now, how long is this going on? Are we just doing it for the month? Are we doing it for 6 months?
We're
can
doing
you guys jump?
until $270,000 is raised. That's how we're doing it.
You're staying on it. I love it.
Sticking with it till we hit the goal. We're committed.
Fantastic. Well, I appreciate you guys coming on. Anything else? Is there any questions I should have asked that I didn't ask that you want to talk about?
I mean, I would just say, I think this is a pretty cool opportunity for folks who have gotten involved in F3 in their local area to get more connected, kind of both across the nation and across the world. I mean, there are probably a lot of guys who don't even know that F3 has planted shovel flags in places like Kenya.
You're exactly right.
There's opportunities to get involved with, I think there's a plan for a trip to maybe go out there early next year. So folks who get really excited and really involved and want to go out and spend some time in this community. I know Felix Safari would love to host some folks out there and do a beat down in Homa Bay with some of the guys who are going to be benefiting from this program. And so, this is a real opportunity to roll up your sleeves and get involved certainly with fundraising. I mean, it's the funding is going to make the work possible, but also just to get involved relationally with a group of fantastic guys who live on the other side of the world, but are really part of the same spirit of what we're about here. So I'm jazzed to see all this coming together.
Those trips are amazing. I've had the good fortune of going on, I think, 7 now to Guatemala, and I got to do one to Zimbabwe and visit the communities where Living Water does their excellent work. And the collaboration is what I love. They partner with the local church. They work with all the governments and agencies and all the people. And everybody's going together, and the community that they serve in, they got skin in the game too. And so it's not a short term, it's a long-term process. So those relationships build and continue to build and grow. And they just add so much value across the whole community, not just in water, sanitation, and hygiene, but just in that development of that whole area. So yeah, I look forward to hopefully leading a trip of 3 guys. We've actually, some of the trips I've been on before have included some St. Louis PAX guys down to Guatemala, but I'm looking forward to getting a dozen guys from across the U.S. and maybe somebody in London. I'd love to have somebody in London with us. That'd be cool.
And I think Safari the Beast is somehow connected to the guys in London. I think maybe he was there and then he went to. Yeah. He's got
a network. He's got a network of PAX who are supporting him from all over the place.
And speaking of networks, I get a lot of these kind of things coming at me, and I want to flex on this one. I think every region needs to, if you're new to F3, and you don't know how to fundraise, network. There's a ton of guys out there who do short-term fundraisers. They do long-term fundraisers, and there's a lot of different strategies. I was just in F3 Omaha, supporting my F3 Omaha Brick Builder shirt foundation. And I think that community, that F3 group generates around $500,000 a year for their local charities. And they don't specifically, I think, target one per se, but I think they spread it out. But the impact they have collectively is pretty impressive. And I hope guys are out there seeing what you guys are doing, whether or not they participate. They're learning your model. They're learning how to fundraise. I love that this is not a short term, it's a long term. And that's a different strategy in itself. And so I hope they're reaching out, and hope guys are networking and flexing on this F3 network that we have, because it's an amazing network. And we can all, our collective effort is better than our individual efforts. I think that's part of what we preach a lot of, to be honest with you. So that's great. Anything else?
No, I don't know if you have a way to share the link to the campaign page in the show notes or whatever. I think that might be easier than us trying to read it off, but we'd be happy to share that with you and maybe make that available as a follow-up for folks who are interested.
I love saying it because it's like a YouTube, so I'm like, put it down in the comments below, or no, I'll put it in the description below. I'll put the links in there, and I'll put your contact information in there. Not real sure how to do it with Spotify yet, but I'm learning that today. I am learning this podcasting thing as I go. We'll see how that goes. Trying to fill, I don't know if you know this, but trying to fill Hello Kitty and Rapido shoes, man, don't do it. Don't do it. If anybody says do it, just run the other way. Don't do it. I've learned that. Cool. Well, guys, I appreciate you coming on. Love to have you on again. I know this is a long term, and I got nothing but time to talk, and I'd love to keep checking with you guys again and see how the progress is going, what else we could do to help. I know we can all grow mustaches or something. That's one of the cool. I think that would be great. See you two in a mustache. That'd be.
Yeah, the stories unfolding. I mean, the stories unfolding, week by week and month by month. So I'm sure here in a few weeks we'll have some stories from Safari of the Beast as things get underway, and it'd be great to be able to follow up and share the journey as it happens.
I love it. Last thing, pro tip: this shirt. One of the things, I'm gonna keep talking about Omaha like I'm in love with them, and I am. They did a thrift store. Like when we got there, they a lot of guys, we all have that extra stuff we don't wear anymore. So they brought it all in, and they had like a thrift store. And man, I know they were wanting to get rid of it, but I think these are the coolest shirts. So I don't know if your region has had a thrift store sale for the young guys or new guy. I don't know, but it's a great idea. I'm just going to share that out. And with that, I think I'm going to close this out if I can figure out how to find that thing. And guys, I appreciate you being on, and we'll talk soon.
Thanks, Huckleberry.
See you in the glue.
Remember, here till we upload this up.
From the F3 Nation Podcast Studios.
I've just been handed an urgent and horrifying news story. And I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen.
This is the COT Podcast,